Hey, hello. Um, Today I wanted to talk a little bit about everything. I've been busy very much between the child, the company that I'm setting up, and life itself. I've been kind of like all over the place. So my thoughts are probably all over the place too. But I think the main theme, at least in my world at this point, is the job market. And it has been the main theme for a while. I kind of retired from the job market and kind of already had this very set idea that I'm not going back into the job market. However, I am still functioning with certain codes that are coming from there. For instance, recruiters, for instance, freelancing career, for instance, some LinkedIn notifications, for instance, ways of presenting myself, or even ways of interacting in a possible conversation with a prospect. Interacting with a prospect is still very interview corporate. So because I'm still so close to it, is that I am actually witnessing everything that is going on in this world, and it's awful, it's nasty, and I feel for the people in there, because we're talking about families that are in a very tough, rough situation, very delicate situation. And it's not a delicate situation for 3 months or 4 months or even half a year. We're talking situations that have been going on for over a year, 18 months, 15 months, where savings are being exhausted. And really, I do not think this is going to improve. I think it's actually not going to improve. And I think the trend is what we've seen so far between Oracle layoffs, Meta layoffs. I don't know if they already happened or they are going to happen. Block layoffs and whatnot. These huge companies just getting rid of like half the people of the corporation, and still functioning pretty well. So that's the trend, and really the whole white collar demographic is being hit very, very hard. And I might sound pessimistic, but I don't think this is going to improve from here. And it's funny because there's a lot of chat outside about how this is impacting recent graduates. And yes, it is recent graduates, but no, it's really that mid-career personnel that is being impacted by it. And so we're talking about, kind of like older millennials that are being just wrecked basically on their life finances and their life plans. And now is, well, how can we get out of here? And I don't think neither is really prepared for this. You might have taken some precautions, but in general, because this is a high trusting society, I think this wide range of demographics usually move through life as things are expected. Meaning, I don't know if that makes sense, but what I'm trying to say is that there is very little planning for eventualities, because life is expected to behave a certain way. So we know we might just go and take a mortgage of $400,000 on one salary because it's supposed to be that way, that I'm going to work all my life until, I retire. And I might hop from one job to the other one, but nonetheless, I'm going to be safe in this working environment. Whereas in other places that are low trust, and this is not because other places are better, because they are not, but I think there is more planning for contingency situations. In my particular case, for instance, again, I'm not an example of anything. I'm just someone who's trying to figure out as it goes. But in my particular case, I got into this crazy journey of basically building a house from scratch. And, I remember consulting this with one of my siblings, and my brother was like, $400,000, is that what you're gonna go in debt? You're crazy. That's a lot of money. And then at that time I had like a high paying salary and whatnot. I'm like, it's fine. But somehow I did have kind of the exit plan in case everything went to hell, which it ended up everything going to hell. And the way that I designed the house was kind of having a mother-in-law suite downstairs, completely independent from the house, so with its own entrance and with its own appliances and whatnot. And again, I'm not a genius. I'm just someone that has been raised in a low trusting society, and has been has observed generations being wrecked. And so that's kind of the mentality is always okay, we're going to do this, but if, everything kind of goes left, what's going to be the exit strategy? And I think that's what's missing here. And it just breaks my heart because, I've seen some of the comments on Threads and X, and these are families that are being with, the head of household unemployed for 12 months, 15 months, and 18 months. And they have fear. They have children. They they have families. And these are hardworking people. And, I really, as a mother myself, I can only imagine that situation, So my whole thing here is just to say that the rules of the game have forever changed, especially, and this might be a tangent that I want to talk at some other point, especially after this war that we got into, and with this mess that the Israelis and the United States have gotten the rest of the world into. And so I wonder if these high trusting societies are actually noticing and becoming more aware of how these rules have changed, and if there are any type of forward thinking on, okay, how do we create these contingency strategies to avoid debacle, or to avoid bankruptcy, or to avoid just losing it all. And I don't think we will have the answers to that until probably at least a decade, and we see the consequences at what's happening now. So yeah, my heart goes to all of you out there that are going through a tough situation. I am going through a tough situation too. So I feel you. hopefully in God we trust and everything will be fine. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time. My name is Magdalene, and I do these videos so I can learn how to articulate in real life my thoughts and my feelings in this case. Thank you and have a great weekend.